In the second video, we'll be discussing questions from question number 3 onwards. A question: how many words can be formed using the letters of the word classical? So now this says that it's a question on permutation and combination. So reminder, permutation combination, definition of permutation. The definition of permutation is to select and arrange. It is selection and arrangement. Selection and arrangement. Whereas combination is only to select. Only selection is involved. Only selection is involved means with the number of groups here, the number of groups that is formed. Number of groups that can be formed. That can be formed. That's our question. Fine. So we'll have to find out in this question what is actually there. Do we need to have the selection of certain things and then go in for its arrangement, or we have to select something before we go in for the arrangement of the whole thing? So that's what you have to identify for the questions of permutation combination, which actually I said is identify the task. We have a work to do. The task is to form a 9 letter. You find there are 9 letters in it. So you have to form a 9 letter word using the letters of this word classical. Now what you find is whatever is given to us, are they distinct? Like in this word, we find that they are not distinct. We have two C's, we have two L's, we have two S, we have two A's, and there is only one I. So we have these elements. Of the 9 elements, 4 elements they repeat twice. So we'll have to see into the permutation of the things that repeats. So that is also to be kept in mind. Now let's again go back to the question. The first question says which begins with the vowel. That means the word that we are going to frame or make has to begin with A or I, because these are the only two vowels that we have. So that means we have basically divided into two tasks. What is task? First task. The first task is to fill the extreme left. Now extreme left position. Extreme left position. Why will I be differentiating these positions? Because extreme left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In extreme left we have to have only particular things. So we need to divide it into two tasks. Now the extreme left, the choices are A and I. Now in this choice also you find that A is repeating. So if you keep A in the extreme left, you'll find that there's only one A left out in the 8 elements. So when you take up the arrangement of those 8 elements, you'll find that there is only one A for arrangement. But in case you take up I here, then in that case you have two A's for arrangement, which are two different situations. So let us now take up this in terms of two cases. So I'll explain it in two ways. Case 1. What is case 1? To have, that is to have A in the extreme left position. Left position. So we have decided to keep the extreme left position for A. That is, you are using only one element, that is A. Now what are the elements that you have for the remaining 8s? We have C, 2 C's, 2 L's, 2 S and a I. Fine. So how many elements, sorry, one A is also there. There's one A because one A has been fixed up, so one A is there. So how many elements are there for the arrangement? We have 8 factorial upon the repetitions, that is C's, 2 L's, 2 S. So this many words will be formed which begins with A. Now what is the next case? The next case is all those words which begins with I. I is another vowel. So we fix I here. So what elements do we have for the rearrangement here? The elements that you have for the rearrangement are the two C's, two L's, two S and the two A's. So that gives us the number of words that can be formed from these set of words. That is, there are four elements repeating twice. So therefore, the total number of words formed, total number of words formed are words formed are the addition of the two cases. So that gives us 8 factorial upon 2 factorial whole cube, you can write it this way, plus 8 factorial upon 2 factorial whole to the index 4. Now, if suppose you have some time left after you finish up all the paper, all the questions, after you have attempted all the questions, if you still get time and you come across this question as revision part, then you can always go in for the simplification. What is the simplification? How far you are supposed to simplify? That's what I'm trying to explain it. The simplification that you see is you can take the 2 factorials from the denominator and the 8 factorial that is common in the numerator. So that makes it 1 plus 1 on 2, which comes out to be, the answer to this is factorial 8 on, see it's 3 times, so it is 3 times factorial 8 on factorial 2 to the index 4. So that's the simplified form. No need to go in for further simplification. You can always leave the answer in this form. Now, one thing, in case you go for further simplification and you get a wrong answer, be prepared, you'll be losing your marks for that because we accept these answers. Okay, so don't waste your time in further simplification. This is because we can go in for further one step ahead, that is okay, but don't go beyond it. So that's one way. Now the second alternate way, as I said, in case you have too many cases here, since here you have only two A's and one I's, you have a situation where the consonants are to be filled in. So you find that there are three consonants which repeat twice and you'll have to take up different cases. So we go in for an alternate way. There's an alternate way which takes care of all the situation. Alternate way. What is that alternate way? We have identified that we have to fill in the extreme by one of the elements A and I. So we assume that there are two different A's. So in that case, how many choices do we have for the extreme left? We have the number of choices for extreme left. This is for extreme left. It's for the extreme left. We have three choices. What are they? A is, it is assuming that there are three different. So we select one. So whatever we have selected, we may select one of the A, we may select one of the I. It will not make any difference. And for the remaining, what do we have? The rearrangement of the remaining 8 letters. The remaining 8 letters, which may include the 2's of C's, 2 factorial, then 2 factorial, 2 factorial and 2 factorial. So why have I introduced this 2 factorial? Because it may happen that the 2 A's, you may take one of the A first, that is A1. Then you have another A here. So both the A's, it is same thing. You have 2 A's here also. So we take it together. So what is the total number of words formed? Total words formed will be 3 multiplied by 8 factorial on 2 factorial whole to the index 4. Are they not same? So this way or that way both answers will be same. Okay. So thank you. I'll take up the fourth question in the next video. Thank you.